Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Smoking Syndicate. I'm your host, Ben Lee, here in the Tatooine Studios in beautiful Black Mountain, North Carolina. And as you can probably tell what this review might be, we're going to be taking a look at the M81 Blackened from Drew Estate and Metallica in the Robusto format. How did it do? Stay tuned to find out. The M81 Blackened is a collaboration between Metallica lead singer James Hetfield, Rob Dietrich, who is a distiller at Sweet Amber Distilling, and also Jonathan Drew at Drew Estate. Now, Jonathan and Rob have been friends for quite a while, and Rob introduced James Hetfield to Jonathan Drew because they had talked about coming out with a cigar for Metallica, and so they kind of went back and forth with different samples. Jonathan would make up some different cigars. He would send them to Rob and James, and they had a cigar notebook where they kind of wrote down what they liked and disliked about each blend that they were sent until they finally came up with the blend that they dubbed the M81 Blackened. Now the name M81 comes from M from Metallica, and they were formed in 1981. Now the blend they decided to come up with was a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, a Connecticut broadleaf binder, and fillers of Connecticut broadleaf and Nicaraguan tobaccos. And this is made at the Drew Estate factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Now, the one that we're looking at today is a Robusto. It's a 5x50. Now, the one that I smoked actually the most of was the Corona. To me, the Corona is one of the best Vitolas that's in the Blackened line. But the Robusto hadn't really gotten much coverage, right? So Cigar Coop, William Cooper, he did the Toro, and the Corona has got a lot of reviews. So I thought, why not just do the Robusto? So this is what I decided to pick the Robusto format to this Vitola to do. Now, I'm a huge Metallica fan. I've been a fan since Kill 'Em All was first released, and basically this name, the Blackened, was actually the first song on the Injustice for All album, which was actually Metallica's, really was their first huge like multi-platinum record, because at the time MTV was still showing videos. I know kids, millennials, go look it up. MTV used to play music videos. Crazy, I know, but that's what it used to be. But anyway, so they were kind of against having videos for their songs for the longest time. And finally they decided to kind of cave in because everybody was doing it. But you pretty much just had to have music videos. So the first single off the album that they did, Justice for All, was One. And when they put that video out, it just exploded. It went to the top of the charts for, the videos on MTV. It was the first time really that Metallica was charting in the Billboard, charts and stuff. And it was a massive success. Now, they started doing several more after that. The following album after that is called the Black Album, unofficially. So it's kind of where this name came from along with this. So, and actually, I thought this is a really good blend, and the way they did everything with the cigar really kind of fits with Metallica. Now, I really didn't know for the longest time that James Hetfield was, a big cigar smoker. But, their new album that they just came out with, you watch a lot of videos and concert snippets and whatnot that's on YouTube, you'll see James smoking cigars before and after the concert. He'll be out in the crowd watching the bands that's opening up for Metallica, and he's out there with people smoking cigars while he's watching the band. I thought that's freaking really cool. So anyway, like I said, as a huge fan of Metallica, I just loved to see that this cigar was coming out. I just thought, oh my God, I got to get my hands on this one. I haven't been able to get. There's actually a whiskey that's came out with this, a bourbon that basically Rob Dietrich blended to go with the cigar, but I can't find it anywhere. I haven't been able to get my hands on that, so one day I hope to get it. Anyway, let's get back to the cigar. So Look, that's a beautiful cigar. Really dark, rich brown wrapper. Just beautiful. And I like the foot band too. The black foot band with like the copper colored writing on it. Really nice. Just a beautiful, well made cigar. So let me go ahead and take this foot band off and clip it, and let's check the draw. Now, when I was younger, I listened to a lot of heavy metal. So Metallica came out, and I was a big skateboarder, in the mid 80s and stuff. So, and a lot of what I listened to was a lot of metal. Metallica was definitely my favorite band for the longest time. I was listening to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Rap, Motley Crue, Van Halen. You just name it. That was my bands. Ozzy and Dio, the Scorpions, all of them, Guns N' Roses. That was what I listened to. And then when I was out skateboarding and stuff, that was kind of when I get amped up. That's the kind of stuff you would listen to, right? So I'm just so glad that these came out. So pretty good draw. It's slightly loose, but not too bad. Now, the notes I get on the pre-light draw, I get some like, hints of cocoa, but cedar and some earthiness. Off to a good start. Let me go ahead and light this up. I'll be back to let you know my overall impression of the cigar. See you in a second. Buddy, I'm back. I'm pretty good ways on the cigar. Got a little bit carried away while I was smoking this and stuff. So, this is a really flavorful cigar. Really rich, robust cigar. Now, on the first third, I get cocoa, some black pepper, some earthiness, like a date flavor as well, cedar, and some nuttiness. Now, I would say this is definitely full body, full flavor, full strength. And it just coats the whole palate. Really, almost like a viscous smoke is produced for this too, like on the palate. Like it just fills your mouth with great flavors all over. It produces a ton of smoke as well. Burn is really good, and as I lit the cigar, sort of smoking it, the draw tightened up a little bit, so it's like that perfect milkshake draw that I like. Now, when it gets down about the second third, I get a like dark chocolate and the cedar note, more of that black pepper, an espresso note kind of made an appearance as well, gave it a nice little bitterness to it as well, and I still got that earth, and I really don't get that date note anymore in the second part, but I got like that dried fruit that reminded me of kind of like dates in the beginning of the cigar, but in the second third, it kind of faded away. The espresso note just really makes the kind of the flavors pop as well. I really like that kind of that. I love coffee bean, coffee notes, espresso notes in cigars. So this one really has that. It's really, really good. Now on the final third, it got a little bit more bitter, but not in a bad way. Kind of like the dark chocolate and that espresso, the bitterness you would kind of get out of both of those. It's kind of a little bit more pronounced on the back end of the cigar, but it's still really, really good. Most of what I get on the back end is that dark chocolate, the espresso, and some earthiness with a little bit of that cedar. Now, when I retrohale this cigar, I get mostly black pepper and that cocoa note. And to me, almost the retrohale for this cigar, and it was the same for the first, second, and third part of the cigar. It was a little much. Like I couldn't retrohale a full blast of the smoke. I had to like release a little bit, then kind of ease it out through the retrohale. But still, that retrohale gave it a little bit more oomph of that flavor. Really brought everything together. So I got a lot more out of it during the retrohale. Really, I love this cigar, and I don't think it's come from the standpoint that I love Metallica, so I'm a big fan of Metallica. But just in general, this is a very well blended Maduro cigar. And I'm not the biggest Maduro fan, actually. Maduros, I'm very particular about what I like. I like the cocoa coffee notes, that raisiny date kind of flavor that you get from some Maduros. Other ones that almost have like a little bit of a chalkiness to it, or just a weird sweetness. It's a little bit woody and a lot of earthiness. That's not really my style. But this one is my style of Maduro. So I really enjoy this. I'm going to rate this one a 91. I really enjoy this cigar. I think it's kind of on par with the Toro. To me, the Corona is a little bit better. Like, I would grade the Corona a 92, just because that smaller format just kind of concentrates that flavor a little bit more. It's really, really good. This is a great blend. It's definitely one I hope sticks around for quite a while. Not just as a Metallica fan and as a fan of Drew Estate cigars, but just because this is a really well blended cigar. I really do enjoy this cigar. And I don't know if I mentioned the price point, but the MSRP on this is $9.45. I'd pay that all day for this cigar. Really, really good quality blend, well made cigar. Definitely check out the Blackened at your local brick and mortar. I picked these up actually at my local shop at B&B Tobacconists in Asheville, North Carolina, and they're basically not hanging around long there either. So, like, the Coronas just flew off the shelf. And that's before Cigar Aficionado came out with their top 25 of the year list, and the Blackened actually was in the top 10. So, check this out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Really fantastic cigar. Please like, comment, subscribe. And on that note, I'll see you next time.